These are dominoes. You will notice that each domino has two sides. On the sides we see dots. These dots are referred to as pips. One of the ways in which we can use the dominoes is to create fractions that we can then add and subtract. Now in this case, I want to work with fractions that have unlike denominators. So what I'm going to do is specifically choose dominoes that do not have the same quantity of dots on either of the sides. So I am going to take this domino and I'm going to take this domino. So here we have 7 and 6 and 5 and 4, nothing in common. I am going to take this domino and read it as 4/5. I'm going to take this domino and read it as 7/6. Now before we can add or subtract them, we need to convert these to equivalent fractions that have the same denominator. So first I'm going to write down 4/5 and I'm going to write down 7/6. Now I'm going to think about what is a multiple of these two numbers that I can use as a common denominator. Well, I know that 5 times 6 is 30. So I'm going to use 30 as my common denominator. Now, in order to get to 30 as my common denominator for 4/5, I need to multiply 5 by 6. So I'm going to multiply by 6/6, which is equivalent to 1. 4 times 6 is 24. 5 times 6 is 30. So now here I have 6 as my denominator, so now I need to multiply it by 5. So I will multiply by 5/5, which is equal to 1. 7 times 5 is 35. 6 times 5 is 30. Okay, now I have my equivalent fractions with the same denominator. Now I can add and subtract them. Let's start by adding. So here I have 20 and 30, which is 50. 4 and 5, which is 9. So I have 59/30. Now when I subtract, I start with the greater of the two fractions. And I know that 35 subtract 24 is 11. So here I have 11/30. So here's one way in which we can use the dominoes to create fractions with unlike denominators, and then we can convert to equivalent fractions that we can add and subtract.